Well, the standoff between Washington and Pyongyang is set to continue in 2018, with North Korea's leader targeting the US in his New Year's speech. Kim Jong-un stressed he had the nuclear button at hand.
The entire US mainland is within the range of our nuclear strike, and the button is always on the table in my office. They should clearly know that this is certainly not a threat, but rather a reality.
Well, to discuss this situation further, we can cross live now to Chinese international relations specialist Victor Gao. Victor, thank you very much indeed for joining us this New Year's Day. Well, what's your reaction then to Kim's nuclear button warning?
Thank you. Happy New Year. I think the remark by the leader of DPRK is highly irresponsible and is to be stopped or discouraged by all means. While DPRK has the right to defend itself, to threaten to use the nuclear weapon against another country to cover all its territory is really beyond any reasonable statement. And I hope personally that such rhetoric, either by the side of DPRK, by its supreme leader, or by the United States through its president, Donald Trump, will calm down. The world does not need such jingoism or war rhetorics. The world needs peace, and we need to work with every party concerned to bring about peace on the Korean Peninsula and in that particular region.
Well, Kim says that Pyongyang's nuclear achievements, they would deter the US from ever attacking. But do you agree?
I personally do not agree. I think DPRK has a legitimate point to defend itself and to repel any kind of invasion from outside. But to use nuclear weapon as a mean to achieve this goal is really beyond reasonable calculation, especially because this is completely against all the resolutions adopted by the United Nations Security Council as well as by the IAEA. And therefore, I think DPRK should negotiate with the United States and all the other relevant parties to make sure that it can maintain stability and peace while giving up the nuclear weapons. This will be the highway. This will be the better way.
OK, and that's therefore looking at a diplomatic solution. But do you expect international pressure to grow against North Korea in the wake of these latest comments?
I think there are already a whole range of international sanctions initiated by the United Nations Security Council. They are putting pressure on DPRK, but as far as DPRK's nuclear weapon program is concerned, it's not achieving the magic result at all. And it is expected that DPRK will continue to develop and to make it more sophisticated, their nuclear weapon system. Therefore, I'm afraid that the situation on the DPRK and on the Korean Peninsula is fast reaching a tipping point. Something needs to be done. And I think before everything is exhausted, we still need to rely on peace and negotiation and diplomacy before any attempt is tried to find other ways to achieve denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula.
And Victor, very briefly, if you could just sum up, how do you see the North Korean-US relationship unfold this year in just a sentence or two? What do you think?
No, I think DPRK is worried about threats from the United States in terms of regime change or assassination of its leader or simply invasion into its territory. And they have developed the nuclear weapon in order to achieve survival of the regime and defending their country. But by threatening to use the nuclear weapon against the United States is very irresponsible, and I think it's not to be tolerated.
Indeed, and we'll leave it there. Victor Gao, Chinese international relations specialist, thank you for your thoughts. Thank you.